You know, I'm gonna call this dude all kind of names, but let me go ahead and start off with the peace greeting though for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Y'all know what to do. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Gentlemen, shouts out to Senhor Canga for sending me the link to this. Muito obrigado, irmão. E poder preto. Viva Africa. With that being said, I gotta tell you, man, that link you sent to Ivie Anita's video was a big eye-opener. It was a big help. Thank you so much for sending that. I listened to her, but I learned something else too, and I didn't realize this before. Thank you, sir. I was unaware of this, but that dude that sat in that chair and talked to that Haitian-American lady and said that we have no culture. Actually, I didn't know his name before, but his name is Frank Zanu. And I'll tell you about this dude. Frank Zanu, yeah, Zanu. I think he's got a YouTube channel. And this is something I want African Americans to realize this, FBA. I also want Haitian Americans to realize this. I want Haitians to realize this. I want Jamaicans and Bajans, Grenadines, people from St. Kitts and Nevis, people from Turks and Caicos to realize this. I want black Arabs to realize this. This guy, Frank Zanu, first off, his name stands for Zany Ass Niggas Unlimited. ZANU. He sits up and he sat up and said what went viral. And a lady is Haitian American, talking about we have no culture. And his stankin' ass sat up there and kept on asking questions with his glasses and putting his hands on his chin like he all smart and shit. And then every time she would start or before she could finish thinking, Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen, he would turn around and interrupt like he's just oh so smart. I'm not even gonna take a long time to tell y'all this. I just want y'all to understand something. And when you look this nigga up, the Sambo ass nigga, sellout ass nigga, he proved exactly what the hell I'd been saying. Frank Zanu sat up and told her that we have no culture. This dude is from the motherland, and he's been going around telling Africans things that are derogatory and inflammatory about his own. He says the same things to continental Africans. He doesn't say they have no culture, but he'll sit up and say other things like, you're never going to develop. You can't develop. You're not capable. He belittles the continental Africans, of which he's one. He belittles the FBA, to whom he is related. Now, he didn't do that to the Haitian American lady, but he was talking to her and then belittling us. He goes to people from the continent and then he belittles them. Now, my question is, what does he say about Haitians when they're not around? See, what made many of us as FBA think that other nationalities were dogpiling on our black asses is that, number one, they didn't realize that the lady that was trying to think of ways to defend us but couldn't get a thought in, let alone a word in edgewise, was Haitian American. So we didn't realize that these were two non-Americans disagreeing about us. That's the first thing that went over our heads. The second thing that went over our heads, what we just didn't notice about her. But the other thing is that we didn't know that this guy goes around belittling continental Africans, and he is one of them. So that's another thing that went over our heads. We didn't realize this. I told black folks before that we are not supposed to be in a fight with other nationalities on the basis of the nationality, but that we are in a fight in between black folks that are fair and just, regardless of nationality, and Sambo sellout ass niggas like Frank Zanu. of zany ass niggas unlimited. I said this before, and now this nigga just sat up and proved it. Now he went viral for talking shit about us. But we forgot to check other details. I said this before. Who benefits from this? You know a Sambo, because they will exonerate the cracker and then want to fight with other black folks. Now, there are going to be times when we have to sit up and say, this is some shit that white folks didn't do that we did. There'll be times for that. And that's if you can objectively find information on that. And even then, did you find that from a valuable and a verifiable or credible source? At least did you find it from an honest source, so that if it turns out to be false, you could say that person didn't lie. They just got lied to, at the very least. What a cuss word, Clyde. Well, we sit up here believing every time somebody say something bad about another nationality of black folk that ain't us, we ready to believe it. Because we're so used to this narrative that all our people do is fight each other. Most of the time, the biggest truth behind that is that we believe it, not that it was objectively true without us believing it first. I said this before. Don't ever forget. I'm not saying this to brag and say, yeah, man, Jet Black was right. I'm not right because I'm smart. My intelligence is normal. I'm about as smart or as dumb as any other average person, but I was right largely because I do pay attention to pattern, simple pattern recognition. That's why I'm a pessimist. Pessimism keeps showing itself to be a very reliable way to make predictions about the future. I wish it wasn't the case. It's not fun being pessimistic, but it damn sure keeps you prepared. And so now I'm sitting up here and I'm explaining to you knuckleheads again. The division is not between FBA and everybody else that's black. The hell kind of sense does that make? The division is between those of us that don't want to harm folks that didn't do anything to us, and those of us who sell out to oppressors, Sambo ass niggas, sellout ass niggas, plantation minded ass niggas. Pseudo-intellectual ass niggas. Pro-whack ass niggas. Because they make up dumb shit in the name of pro-blackness and then turn around and talk about black folks didn't have to use the bathroom a few years ago when, before you know it, niggas came from outer space. We ain't from outer space no more than any. You got some pro-blacks talk about the white man came from outer space. Well, how the hell can they reproduce with other human beings then? You got others that are saying the black man came from outer space. Well, how the hell can we reproduce with other human beings then? But foot to work. How you gonna have a species that can reproduce with the same species but from another planet? They ain't the same species. Ask a biologist. That don't make no goddamn sense. You got species on Earth that might look like each other, but they're not. They're not even related. They can't co-reproduce. They can't mix. Then you got species you can easily tell apart, but they're related enough to where they can have cubs together. Sometimes the cubs live, sometimes they don't. African and Asian elephants don't mix because they don't live in the same place, but when they were locked up together, there was one baby that was born and didn't make it. And you want me to believe that humanoid species can come from another planet and then reproduce with human beings from this planet, and those kids are going to grow up healthy and fertile on their own? Fit the guck out my face with that sure bit. That's pro-whack ass, pseudo-intellectual ass niggas. And you want me to believe this stuff. They want us to believe this stuff. They are the ones that are the enemies, and usually it ain't even because they hate us per se. It's because they're willing to do things as if they hate us. But because they don't check anything out for themselves, you can tell those ninjas anything, and they'll turn around and tell others anything, and before you know it, nationality wars within a race that can't afford them. When really the whole time, the one that wants to bring down the race in general doesn't give a guck about nationality. They just want the race to be brought down. And if you're coming from the same race and you're willing to help them, well, they'll work with you even though they don't like you because you're the same race as them. In other words, Frank Zanu, does not give a guck about anti-black misandry. Why do you think that is? As far as I'm concerned, he and Burna Boy might as well be the same. And Burna Boy doesn't even, he has some kind of regret for what he said. Shouldn't have said it. Stupid ass. And we ourselves have fallen for some of the worst propaganda because we got a culture that is more substantial than just music. And yet that's the first thing we go to say we got culture. We got a culture that's more substantial than just soul food. That's the second thing we go to. As if to say, if we ain't singing or rapping about debauchery and stuffing ourselves with cholesterol and sugar, we don't have, it's almost like we're saying, oh, we do have a culture. See, it just involves eating ourselves into an early grave and entertaining ourselves into an early grave with prison-bound or cemetery-bound messages. It's almost like we sit up and say this stuff, and that's not true. Using half-truths to defend ourselves from outright mother cuss word lies. We need to cut that mess out and start looking at Zanu and who he really is. He can't argue because all he does is ask questions that are going to involve a paragraph as an answer, and before you can start the paragraph in your head, then he just interrupts you with another question that's the same way. That's pseudo-intellect. He was just slightly more civilized in the way he did it than a hillbilly would be. Tell us one thing you naggers built. We built pyramids. That wasn't y'all. What else did y'all build? So you're trying to remember, is the name of that empire Mali or Shanghai? Oh, that's right, both of them were. So he just interrupts you again. Zanu was just a little bit more classy when he did it. And Ivie Anita picked him apart for that. Thank you for sending that link, Senhor Canga. I would send Ivie Anita's link, but she don't need any help from me. She already got 7.5 thousand views on that. But you know what? Zanu needs to change his last name to Zanu. Jigaboo ass niggas unlimited. Sambo ass niggas unlimited. I hope that this helps. Cause see, understand that dude, he went viral as the example of disrespect for the FBA. It turns out this dude's disrespectful to the race. Did I not say that was the problem from the very beginning? Did I not tell you that I'm not smarter than other people? So when I can see something like that, it should be easy. You just got to give it a little thought and draw on the experiences you've had with other people before. Did I not say this? I hope this helps. Thank you for listening. And I want y'all to give a shout out and thanks Senhor Canga. And I want to thank S. Jock as well for keeping me abreast of what's happening internationally. Thank you all from the bottom of my black heart and from the depths of my black mind. Black heart, black mind, blackout. Assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like it, and black patriarch until extinction of judgment day. Thank you for flying with us again here on the Jet Black Airwave. The phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep Jen Black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.